I'm Dave Thomas, and I'm sitting here with Van Romero. It's February 4th, 2010, and we're going to talk a little bit about some events from several years ago, specifically September 11th, 2001, the day of the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers. And Van here was interviewed by Olivier Utibrook of the Albuquerque Journal, and the article that came out of that interview on September 11th, 2001, basically said that the collapse of the buildings appeared too methodical to be a chance result of airplanes colliding with the structures, said Van Romero, Vice President for Research at New Mexico Tech Institute of Mining and Technology. And the article goes on to say Romero said the collapse of the structures resembled those of controlled implosions used to demolish old structures, and that it would be difficult for something from the plane to trigger an event like that. And basically, as soon as that article was published, the people that believe that 9/11 was a U.S. government conspiracy to demolish the towers with explosives have seized on this as evidence that, yes, indeed, these explosions were caused by controlled demolitions. So, Van, when you were interviewed for the article, did you basically say that it was a controlled demolition?
The message that I was trying to get to the reporter was, from my vantage point, when I saw the video, it looked like controlled demolition when you see a hotel or something like that's being destroyed.
It had the appearance.
It had that appearance.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it wasn't. I wanted to put out the idea that there could be a number of scenarios that could take place. It seemed unlikely to me that the sheer impact of an airplane wouldn't lead to the eventual collapse of the Twin Towers. So there was probably something else going on. From my perspective, it looked like that controlled collapse with internal explosives, and so that's one of the possibilities of what could happen.
At the time when you were interviewed, did you indicate that this was your final answer, or that more work needed to be done?
Never gave the impression that it was the final answer. And I remember specifically saying that I'm sure that a thorough investigation will be done in order to draw a scientific conclusion of what happened within those buildings.
And within about a week later, there was another journal story, this time by John Fleck, the science reporter, and that was after you'd had a few days to actually look at the evidence. And basically, what did you say for that article?
Well, really, two things happened in the interim between the first article and the second article. One is that more information came out about what really happened during the events, and so we had more data to help formulate a decision. And then, in addition to that, I was bombarded by emails and phone calls from people all over the world asking me about this statement that I had made, saying that indeed explosives were used to demolish the World Trade Center. And I was trying to make my position very clear that while I said it looked like that, I didn't say that there was any conclusive evidence that would show that. To the contrary, over the next week or so, we learned that there was a very hot fire inside the World Trade Center, fueled by jet fuel, and indeed, the temperature inside that building got up well above the failure point of the steel that supported the structure.
And one of the key failures was the insulation that should have protected the beams from those hot fires was blown off by the airplane's impact, and that's why the beams were exposed.
Exactly. We learned that there was exposed beams, hot fire, and it's just very straightforward reasoning that hot fire, that those exposed beams exposed to that hot fire caused the beams to collapse.
They didn't melt, but they sure got soft enough to lose rigidity and not provide structural support.
And then even after that, after these articles, one of the things that I learned shortly after that is that the World Trade Centers were actually designed to fail that way. That when the architect originally designed the buildings, one of the things you worry about in major cities with big buildings is you don't want the building falling over and impacting other buildings. So you want it to fall, you want it to collapse so it collapses inside of itself. So the building actually operated exactly as it was designed.
Okay. Well, thanks, Van. This has been Dave Thomas and Van Romero. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.